Let's talk today about grading in Access. You're an instructor, you're grading a module, you have discussions, you have assignments, there are quizzes. How do you grade all of this for your students? Well, the first thing you need to know is that when you're grading discussions, it's a two-step process. You have to log in as yourself, as a member first, to actually view the discussions. So let's do that first. And I'm logging in as a member. And in order to find this, and of course everybody's screen is going to look slightly different, you're going to come down to Online Learning, Learning Management System. When you come up here, you're going to go to Access, and that's going to get you into the LMS. Now, the first thing when you get into Access is you have to find the course that you want, and sometimes you're not going to see them right away on your main portal. So you may have to go up to this menu, click here, and go down to VOLU Instructors. And here you may see all of the courses that you're going to need to be an instructor. You'll notice that in order to use these courses, you have to actually enroll in them. So this may be the first place that you find all of your modules. And so you would want to enroll in the module that you're going to grade. Now, I have already enrolled in the modules, and what you're going to see is I have a lot of them. As you can see, I have access to quite a few of them. So the easiest thing to do is what you're going to be grading. Go find that module, just filter. I'm going to look for Local to Global, which is a level 5 module, and I'm going to click Start as if I am taking this module as a student. And this is your module. Now, one good thing about this is you're going to actually see what the students see. So that's also, going to be helpful. So you can see they have a guide, they have a quiz, and here's our discussion scenario. Down here there's also an assignment, but we're focusing on this discussion. So here, make sure you take time to read what the discussion is. You're going to open up the forums. That's your next step. And it opens up this little window. The discussion threads they line up here. You have 10 at a time. You can click through, you can click back. That's pretty easy. However, if all of your students are posting their own individual threads, it's going to be very difficult to find your students to grade them. And the criteria for most of these discussions is it's a original post plus 3 replies. So you're looking for basically 4 posts per student. You have 25 students. That's 100 posts that you're looking for. So start with a spreadsheet. Have all of your students down in a spreadsheet, have 4 boxes beside their name, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that as you find their posts and you read them and you evaluate them, you can check off whether or not they've met the criteria for a post. Now, one of the if you don't want to do the whole search type thing, which you still may have to do a little bit, I highly recommend that you create a discussion feed similar to this. Now, I'm looking at cohort 5. I'm one of the instructors. I created a feed for cohort 5. And within this, I've asked my students to put all of your discussions in here. Now, they don't have to. They could go and read any of these other posts. They could reply, but as a courtesy, I'm asking them to keep it contained in here. Do I go looking for others? Yes, I do, but this just makes it a lot easier. And you can see that other cohorts are starting to do the same. There's cohort 4, there's cohort 1. These are all just individual posts. Now you say, well, you've got this find feature here, so why don't I just use this? Well, you could. However, this find feature is only going to find the names that are listed on this main page. So you're going to find the people that started a post, and you're going to get the people who posted last. But all those in between, you're not going to be able to find. So let's look at these posts. Now, if you're used to grading in an LMS, or you've taken any sort of online work, many times, like Blackboard or some of the other learning management systems, they will stagger like a tree view of the discussions. Well, Access doesn't do that, so that makes it a little bit of a challenge. So the very first post is the post where I ask them to keep it to this feed. I've also told them this separately. I don't expect them to just see this when they get here. So they start writing their posts. Now you can see here the name of the student, okay, and that's why you need to know the names of your students. So he's got an original post, and then we scroll down, and here's another post from another student. And then we go down here, and we see student number 2 has here responded to student number 1. So here is our first reply to an original post. And what I've asked them to do, and this student has done that, is actually address the person that you're replying to so that 1, they know you're talking to them, and 2, the instructor can very quickly and easily see that this is a response post. And so you just kind of go through and you read them. Here's another original post, and you'll be able to tell this as you get more and more posts from your spreadsheet if it's an original or if it's a reply. And so you read it and you can respond. How would you respond? Well, you go all the way to the bottom and you're going to click add a comment here. You're going to write your comment and you're going to hit submit. It will show up, so such as right here. I just put a really quick encouraging post. It will show up here as a post, just like anything else. Now let me just go back, and you have different criteria. Some different levels have different criteria, different rubrics, things they're looking for. But at level 5, at least, I'm looking for quality. I mean, we do want quality posts. We want them to not only answer the questions, but build on that discussion, especially in their responses. So you just don't want to, hey, yes, I agree with you. That's not a quality response. However, I wanted to go back to the second post here, and this student did a phenomenal job of not only answering the questions, but adding to her answer. And if you look right here, she's even added a quote from an article. So she is building on the discussion. She is adding a resource for the other students, and bonus points, she gave the reference. And that's something you are looking for with your students. If they're going to give an outside resource like an article, they should give you the citation for it. So we go through, we figured out, all of our posts. Now, I didn't quite find all my students in here. I better go check those other discussion feeds. So I'm going to click out, but it's going to bring you back to the main discussion. So open it up again. You didn't do anything wrong. This is just one of the quirks of Access. Okay, so let's look at this one. We'll just go down to the next one. And I can scroll down here and I don't have to read them all, but I am kind of looking for my people. So, if that one's mine, I would read it more in depth and get a feel. And I could add my responses to this. Okay, so I'm all done. I've graded all of my discussions. I have a spreadsheet. I know who's done what grades they get. Now, in Access, 70 is actually passing, but we're striving for excellence here. So encourage your students, if they don't have all 4 posts or they're not as the quality, encourage them in an email and say, hey, you're doing good, but I'd like to see a little bit more. And this is why. Strive for that excellence and just help mentor your students along. So I can't grade here. I actually have to go into my instructor access. So go back up to your menu. Okay, and you can't get in. Look at that. You can't. You're in student mode, aren't you? Okay, so now I'm back here. So I'm going to now go to instructor access. I'm going to click on that, and it brings me to the instructor page. Now when you log in here, some people do have issues. It says username. Your username will always be your CAP ID. So let's put that in and then put in your password and sign in. Okay, so here I am. I'm in the instructor side of axis, I'm going to go to reports. And reports seems like an odd place to go to put grades, but lo and behold, look at that. In reports is the gradebook, and you want to click on that gradebook. Now, the first thing the gradebook's going to want to know is, what do you want to do? What scores do you want? Well, we did a discussion. That's an activity. So we're going to manage our activity scores. And then it says, well, okay, but you have all these modules. Which module are we grading? Now, I was doing a level 5. It's called local to global. And again, I have quite a few, so I'll scroll down here until I find it. You click on that. It brings up the activities for that module at the bottom. Now, we were doing the discussions. Click on the discussion assignments. What you're going to see next is a list of students. Now, what I'm seeing, I have a whole lot more. You should just see the students that you have. So you find the student that has been working in the discussion forum that you want to create a grade. And so you scroll down, you find the student, and we're just going to use this. So right here, you would put their scores in, and you can do a number of scores. Okay, you can just click on all of them, give them the grade. If you want to put a note, you can add a note right here for them. Okay, update notes and close it. A word about the notes. The students can see them, but they do not get a notification that you've put a note there. So you will want to let them know that you've given them a note. After you've put all the scores in, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, hit submit. Okay, and you're done with those grading. But if you scroll all the way back up at the top, now I want to look at the module assignments. While I'm in the gradebook, let's just go see if anybody has done an assignment. Well, I don't have to go all the way back out to manage activity scores. These arrows on either side will direct me to those. So let's go this way and see where our module assignments are. And here we are. We're at the module assignment. Now, this is also where you're going to be able to download to see their assignment, whether it was a presentation or a paper or whatever they upload it, you see it here. So I'm going to scroll down for a little bit to this members where you see there's a magnifying glass. There is what looks like a broken link and then a remove icon. So you're going to click on the view attachment to see their activity, and you can see down here it's downloading. You would open that file, you would look at their assignment, and I'm not going to open it right here because it is a student's file, but you will open it from wherever it shows up on your computer. Review it by the criteria, the rubric that you're using. Once you have determined the grade, put the grade in here. Now, one of the things that I do recommend is that you do put a note in here for the student, especially if they didn't do so well. If you give them, it's still passing, but you've taken points off. Well, the student's going to want to know why. So put that in the notes right here. Now, I highly recommend that you use the feedback sandwich, and meaning, if sandwich you have 2 pieces of bread with something in the middle, make those 2 pieces on either end praise, something good, and in the middle is the critique that they need to improve. So you may want to start with, hey, great job. I appreciate the organization that you created in this, the structure that you did. It was very well done. However, the content of what you actually put in there, you missed this piece. However, second praise, overall, well done, and can keep up the good work. That way, you're giving them some feel good while you're also helping them to improve. So you're going to put the notes in here. And another thing, always sign your note. Put your name on there. There's 4 instructors, and the student's not going to know which instructor left that note unless you sign it. So you go through, you do all of your students, and just like everything else, you're going to go down and hit Submit Changes. That's how you do the module assignment. Quizzes are graded automatically. So for most of the quizzes, you are not going to have to do anything. However, there are a couple levels that have quizzes with short answers. And so the instructor should be going in there and looking at those just to see what they said. So here are where the quizzes will be scored, what they get, that's automatically done. The last item on the list that you may see, and you don't have to worry about it, is the withdrawal quiz. What is the withdrawal quiz? It is a quiz where a student can just click on there, let the instructor know, hey, I'm going to withdraw from this module. They don't have to give a reason. They may not want to give a reason, but that they can withdraw here. So from there, you would be able to see on here, if they had a grade for that, and then you would know that they have asked to withdraw. But for most part, your students are not going to be doing that. So that is how you grade the discussions and the assignments in Access. If you have any questions, please talk to your chair and we can help you out with some more, hands-on. But I encourage you to go into Access and start playing around with this. Get a feel for where you click. It's not always intuitive, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. So we'll see you around the Volunteer University classrooms. Goodbye.